mates about the vaccine. Here's Philly Teen Vax Ambassador, Angelique Kiasan.
There's a lot of false information out there, especially with social media being around, and we're there to spread real information.
Fever is the key symptom for both the flu and COVID. The Exergen Temporal Scanner is essential to detect fevers early and reliably. Learn more at exergen.com.
The pandemic's reminded us we live in a sea of airborne germs that can assault us with every breath. Your nose is the body's first line of defense by helping filter out allergens, bacteria, and viruses before they reach your lungs. So how do you clean your nose? Navage uses powered suction to flush out mucus and germs that cause congestion, or worse, can make you sick. Over 2 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target.
Hi, this is State Farm Agent John Wright. Every team knows the two-point play can be a winning move. That's why I can help you go for two by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score savings by combining your home and auto with me, State Farm Agent John Wright. It's just another way we're here to help life go right. Call me, John Wright, at 815-725-5052 today.
Got a problem with your car? Here's a chance to talk to the experts. Listen in this Thursday at 9:35 to Car Talk with the experts from the Service Department at Darcy Buick GMC. Call in with your questions about any vehicle and get honest, experienced answers about your car. Plus, get helpful tips for keeping your car in great shape for every season. Listen to Car Talk this Thursday at 9:35 a.m. Brought to you by Darcy Buick GMC on Essington Road in Joliet and at darcymotors.com. Right here at 1340 WJOL. Will County's News Talk Sports.
It's a tradition. It's a passion. It's a way of life. High school football in Will County runs through the blood of sports fans everywhere. From County Line Road to the Indiana Line. From Reed Road to Boughton Road. Football is king. High school football 2021 on 1340 WJOL.
And good evening and welcome. It is the Week 3 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL. Will County's News Talk Sports. EDGYTIM, your host, along with, you know him, you love him. He is the recently retired coach. Well, actually, you're still coaching, but yes, the recently retired educator. And gosh darn it, we just like him, Coach Joe. Joe, welcome.
Good evening, boys. Good to be here.
And spinning the dials, the one, the only, the sheriff, Evan Bredesen.
Forgot about that.
I hope you were calling him the sheriff during the broadcast, sir.
Evan,
I'm going to have to remind you.
Did we?
Yes. To the point that when Dewey first said it, my wife, now he goes, the sheriff, Evan Bredesen. My wife comes into the room because she's in here with me running the board. And she goes,
and by the way,
is that you?
By the way,
I go, yeah, no, it's the other Evan who works our football coverage.
By the way, can we give a shout out to Jen for all that you guys doing here on Friday night? By the way, both of you,
yes,
because you guys do tremendous work keeping scores updated and breaking in with updates. Seriously, I know I work here, but I kind of do, but I don't. But it's excellent stuff, dude. Both of you, congrats.
Yes. Thank you. Couldn't do it without her.
All right. This edition of Pigskin Preview brought to you by, no, not COVID testing, but State Farm agents Kevin Malloy of Joliet, or New Lenox, and John Wright of Joliet. Like a good neighbor, Joe.
State Farm is there.
And, of course, the WJOL Game of the Week. There's been a little bit of schedule change, and honestly, folks, this is a good one. Wilmington on the very short road, Joe, over a little bit west, taking on the Coal City Colders. Yes, it is. Wilmington at Coal City. 7 o'clock kickoff. Dave Dwyer, the coach, Joe Rodeghero on the call. We kick everything off at 6:05 with Evan in the studio with Friday Night Lights. The preeminent IHSA kickoff show by far, par excellence. So again, make sure you're tuning in the 6:05 to Evan. We'll go directly out to Wilmington and Coal City for Dave Dwyer's 45-minute pregame breakdown, I'm sure. And but all kidding aside, should be a terrific night for high school football. Joe, unfortunately, well, let's do the Big Five. Joe, the WJOL EDGYTIM.com Big Five poll for Week 3, my friend.
We have a new team at number 5, the Wilmington Wildcats at 2-0. Number 4 is the Raiders from Bolingbrook at 2-0. Number 3 is the Porters from Lockport at 2-0. At number 2, Lincoln Way East at 1-1. And our new number 1, the Hilltoppers from Joliet Catholic at 2-0.
That is the WJOL EDGYTIM.com Big 5 poll for week 3. And honestly, I was asked by Scott Slocum, when was the last time Lincoln Way East wasn't the number 1 ranked team? I literally could not remember, Joe. That is how long it's been. It's been a long time.
David had a good question, too. When was the last time Lincoln Way East got shut out in a half?
Wow. Yeah, that doesn't happen too often.
No, it does not.
Let's get into it. That was obviously the game of the week. Sure sound like we picked a good one. That is, of course, if you live in Naperville and attend Naperville Central. Joe, your impressions of the Lincoln Way East Griffins and what you kind of saw in that ball game?
It was kind of a tale of two halves. I thought Naperville Central was just hanging on. It was 17-10 at halftime. Lincoln Way East, golden opportunity the first time they had the ball, marched it right down the field, got inside the 10-yard line at 1st and goal. They got down to the 4. They went for a field goal, and again, a terrible angle right hash. I mean, the kid's probably made thousands of those, but he just missed it wide right, not even a little bit right.
Your thoughts on the clock issue towards the end? I heard there was some controversy regarding the clock.
Well, again, I can say it. I'm retired.
Oh, now you're finally opening up? Wonderful. God only knows what you've been holding back all these years.
I have to give credit to Naperville Central. The press box, we were inside the press box. We were pushed kind of up on some risers in the back. As the last few downs were going, the people that were sitting in front had the best seats in the house were standing up. So
wonderful.
So I could not see the clock. I was standing up to watch. I had to see what was going on. Dewey was watching the clock, and he was counting down while I was watching the play. And beyond, honest as I can be, the ball did not hit the ground, and there were 0 seconds. I was counting down with David. So, again, a little suspect with the clock, but give Naperville Central a lot of credit. They outplayed Lincoln Way East in the second half.
This is why Evan, the Sheriff Bredesen, is the best in the business. The last time Lincoln Way East was not ranked number 1, November of 2018. They ended up ranked number 2. JCA was ranked number 1 that year.
Wow.
Excellent, Evan Bredesen. Excellent. Yeah, it's it was it a shocker? I mean, we kind of talked about that things were lining up, kind of lining up for maybe a team to come get Lincoln Way East early.
Well, I tell you what, Naperville Central, their quarterback, Mr. Persha, really nice quarterback. And I have to give kudos to their running back. I don't know that's the young man's first name. His last name
he's a backup.
He's a backup. And Florima, what a receiver.
Yeah.
The catch he made in the end zone, the tying score. Gooch, I believe, was the defensive back that was it had to be perfectly thrown, and it was, and he caught it. So he's
committed to Northwestern, and terrific kid, terrific receiver.
And but again, Lincoln Way East, and I was talking to Bart Kemp last night, and he said, people are
who?
I'm kidding. My buddy,
Hi, Bart.
My buddy, I have to give Bart kudos here. We're talking about the game. And he said, a lot of people are spoiled with Lincoln Way East. He says they got a lot of younger guys out this year.
Yeah.
They've got some good players. I mean, there's Stolaric, I think, is a good quarterback. It's just going to take some time for the 2 running backs. And Mr. Tremblay, I thought, had a really nice game at wide receiver. It was just one of those games. I mean, you just, I feel sorry for, I think it's Stag they play this Friday.
This week. Yeah.
They are going to be one angry group of Griffins on tomorrow night.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Before we dig into maybe some phone calls, again, we're going to be light now, and then we're going to be light at the beginning of the 7 o'clock hour. Otherwise, we're going to have guests. So 815-254-7300 if you want to call and get in. Again, 815-254-7300. Almost gave up my cell phone number again. That's fine. You can call that. I'm not going to answer.
What about your credit card number?
I can probably end up doing that too. If you can get anything out of it, if you can milk anything out of it, Joe, God bless.
All
right. We need to talk about what went down today here in town. Unfortunately, both Joliet Central and now Joliet West on a COVID pause, which words I never thought I'd ever want to hear again, and I still don't, but unfortunately. So Joliet Central was set to play at Oswego. That game is now on a pause. So Joliet Central and Joliet West was planning to also play on the road at Plainfield North. So Plainfield North and Oswego both get forfeit wins. No idea if they're going to schedule a game, Joe. At this point, I think it's probably too late.
It's probably, yeah.
And I can tell you, we're going to have Steve Susi on in the 7 o'clock hour. There are very few schools looking for games, which I guess is a good thing. But so that's not going to happen. So Joliet West and Joliet Central now have to shut down for 2 weeks on a COVID pause. So they are going to miss this week as well as next week. Joe, just not good.
No,
not good at all.
And you know, according to the news and in here early, listening to Evan, a lot of schools with COVID problems throughout the state of Illinois.
Yeah.
So we may only may be the beginning of it.
Yep.
So unfortunately, that's a shame.
So, you know, again, I think we all knew going into this year. And by the way, if you want to add 815-254-7300, when you're going into this year, there's very well could be an issue. It could pop up, could be now, could be 4 weeks down the road, could be 12 weeks down the road. I just didn't know. I mean, best case scenario, I hope everyone continues to do the right things. We're able to kind of withstand the next surge and be able to just keep our heads down and move forward and get a lot of this stuff in.
And the coaches can only control so much, and they cannot control other kids, even in the building, even wearing masks. Mask help to some extent, they say, and you really don't know what the CDC is going, saying and doing and things like that. And again, kids want to be kids, and we had the pandemic 1.5 years and total shutdown for 3 months, and we lost all spring sports 1 year. We lost the fall season last year, started back up. Kids just want to get out there, just like us adults. We just want to get out there, but you got to be careful all the time.
By the way, if you're watching us on the live stream, welcome aboard. Joe, we've got the Lockport fans already out there chomping at the bit. They're fired up in Porterland, so we're happy to have them aboard. Let's go to the phone lines. It is not an official Pigskin preview until Bob joins us. Hello, Bob.
What's up, guys?
Well, we're here. We're glad to be here. A large majority of the games are set to go on tomorrow night, so we're feeling pretty fortunate, my friend.
Oh, we're in good shape then.
Yep, we should be. Joliet Catholic on the road Saturday, taking on a very solid Cardinal Ritter program. They get a 30-20 win with, of course, Mr. Anderson not in the lineup. Bob, I'm considering that a pretty solid win for the Hill.
They look good. If we would have had Anderson, though, I think we would have beat them by another 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, your thoughts, though, of Ritter. What'd you think of him?
Oh, they were a good team. Their quarterback was way on and off. I don't know if it was because of the weather, but,
yeah, we
had a good crowd down there. A lot of people came for Catholic.
It seemed like, Bob, that I listened to the game on the radio, that receiver that they had, I can't remember the young man's name, but I heard he was very good.
Yeah, he was. Nice, tall, lengthy, good runner. I mean, they just couldn't hang on to the ball, and I don't think they were used to seeing a power program at them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, this week, you don't get to make the 5-hour one-way drive unless you just want to hop on 80 on Friday and just hang out in traffic for a while.
But that was a 14-hour day.
Yeah. Now that's a little over half a day, Bob. What are you complaining about? Home game, always good to get a home game. And we're starting to slightly begin to taste a little bit of fall. I know it's supposed to warm up over the next few days. What is on the menu tomorrow night, sir?
Going to do barbecue pork chops.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
No, Joe, we're not changing our game.
Till next week.
I was going to say, what time do we need to be there, Bob?
Next week. Next week.
Come over.
So I know this is already on the schedule. It's no shocker. The game of the week next week. Well, what game do you think that'll be? That was like the moment the schedule comes out. Like, all right, well now, okay, that one's done week 4.
Yes.
So I think the boys are hoping for a very special menu next week, Bob. I'm just going to leave it at that.
All right.
All right, buddy. Thanks, Bob.
All right, Bob. Take care, buddy.
Have a good one.
All right, Bob drops off, and now it is officially an official program, Joe. Joe, we can get paid now because it's officially a program.
That's right. Bob call.
815-254-7300. Again, yeah, I thought I also listened to the game. I thought Scott did a great job down in St. Louis. I got issues with Slocum though. He's been spending a lot of time in St. Louis, and he still hasn't gone to Pappy's Barbecue.
He didn't go on Saturday,
and that is a real problem in my world.
Yes,
I have pretty high standards, and I don't recommend place. Joe, you know me.
Well, I know you.
I don't recommend a place. Evan can tell you this too, unless it's legit. Now the problem is, I don't think he wants to wait to eat.
Hey, you're gonna wait at Pappy's.
Hey, babe, that's life in the big city. If you want something good, you gotta wait.
So funny story. I talked to my dad that night. My dad listened to the whole game on the radio, and he calls me afterwards. I was like, "So what'd you think on the game?" He goes, "First off, before we get to the game, Pappy's, how good is this place?" Because he would not stop talking about it during the fourth quarter. And I went, "It's pretty good, Dad. I mean, Edgy recommends it.
Love
Coach
it.
Joe recommends it. Like they say it's the real deal." He goes, "Okay, now we can talk about the game."
Yep.
So my post-game phone call with my father started with a conversation about whether or not Pappy's is the real deal.
Look, I'm sure I've recommended maybe some hit or miss because everyone has different taste on things. But Joe, you know, I take it pretty seriously when I come out and say something's good, and Pappy's is really good.
I got to sometime near future, maybe during the winter time when it isn't too bad. Got to go to the chicken place.
Oh, Rips out in Ladd, Illinois.
Yes.
Telling you, folks, if you're looking for diamonds in the rough, we're here for you every Thursday night. All right, we're going to step to the side and take a break. When we come back, we will bring in our first guest, Francis Loughran from Coal City. Oh, it's big time in Coal City tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen. We will break down the Wilmington at the Kohlers game with the head coach of the Coal City Kohlers himself. You are listening to the Week 3 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, County's News, Talk, Sports.
Are you dealing with back taxes? Are you worried about what might happen if and when you do pay those taxes? Call Greg Severson at Cordano, Severson & Associates. Greg has worked with many businesses in getting out of tricky tax situations. He has worked with the IRS for many years and with many different clients. He knows the players and how to navigate the system so that your business will get the best solution for your situation. So whether you're struggling to meet the next tax deadline or dealing with overdue or late tax payments, it's time to call Greg Severson. Greg will help your business now, but also help you set up a year-round tax plan, saving you this hassle year after year. He'll give you a free half-hour consultation to get started and give your business the attention it deserves. Call the firm that has provided quality tax advice for almost 50 years right here in the Will County area. Cordano, Severson & Associates, a firm you can trust and your business can afford. Co-founder and proud member of the Will Buy Local Alliance.
I'm looking forward to a play date with my granddaughter.
Nana! I can't wait to get together with my friends for a backyard barbecue.
If you're 65 or older, you're starting to get back to doing things you love. Did you know even healthy adults 65 and older are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia? It's a potentially serious bacterial lung disease that can disrupt your life for weeks. Help protect yourself with the Prevnar 13 pneumococcal 13 valent conjugate vaccine, diphtheria CRM 197 protein. Prevnar 13 approved for adults to help prevent infections from 13 strains of bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 13 does not protect against all strains of the disease. Ask your doctor or pharmacist today about Prevnar 13. Learn more at Prevnar13.com. Don't get Prevnar 13 if you have had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with a weakened immune system may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-866-694-9300 or visit Prevnar13.com.
For over 30 years, OK Tax Shop has been your first choice for everything horse-related. And even if you don't ride or own a horse, OK Tax Shop can outfit you from head to toe in the latest Western fashions. You need to check out LK Tax Shop's collection of brand name apparel for both men and women from Ariat, Cinch, Cowgirl Tough, Panhandle Slim, and Rock and Roll Denim, along with boots from Ariat, Dan Post, and Laredo, plus cowboy hats from Resistol and Stetson.
Throughout September, celebrate both horse and rider with special sales all month long. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for special sales throughout September.
Shop LK Tax Shop and you'll find Western and English apparel and saddles, horse clothing, show accessories, and stable supplies, including Purina horse feed and Victor dog food. Everything you need for horses and horse lovers is at LK Tax Shop. Open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 5 at 26359 South LaGrange Road. That's Route 45 in Maloney, just 1 mile south of Maloney, Manhattan Road. LK Tax Shop and LKTaxShop.com for horse owners and horse lovers.
In our ever-changing world, one thing that hasn't changed is the fabulous caramel apples at Dan's Homemade Candies. And we always deserve that mouth-watering, sweet, delicious, hand-dipped fresh caramel apple from Dan's Homemade Candies. All of Dan's many varieties of caramel apples start with a crisp, juicy, farm-fresh apple. That apple is dipped in Dan's smooth, creamy, homemade caramel, made fresh daily right here in the store. Enjoy it as the original, or try that apple dipped in Dan's chocolate, or with nuts, or both. Try it with white chocolate, dark chocolate, in a starter size, or up to the biggest, fattest caramel dripping apple you've ever seen. These famous caramel apples are only from Dan's Homemade Candies, and they're only here for a limited time. There is still good in the world, and Dan's Homemade Candies has it. Get your caramel apples today in 3 locations: 1003 Plainfield Road in Joliet, 11400 West Lincoln Highway in Mokina, and starting after Labor Day at 229 East Cass Street. Online at danshomemadecandies.com.
Your official home for Joliet and Will County sports is 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back. It is the Week 3 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. EDGYTIM, along with the coach Joe Rodeghero and Evan, the Sheriff Bredesen, behind the dials and keeping us on the air and the live stream running and everything, all that good stuff. And again, this edition, every edition of Pigskin Preview, brought to you by State Farm agents Kevin Malloy in New Lenox and John Wright in Joliet. Joe, like a good neighbor,
State Farm is there.
All right, we're going to go out to the phone lines. Joe, it's always a big night anytime there's Friday football in Coal City. But, when those guys in purple come over.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a whole different level of intensity and just get everyone fired up in both communities. And Coach Laughlin joins us from Coal City. And, Coach, your first one is the head man in charge. No pressure, though. Just go out and beat your rival.
Oh, yeah, you're right. No pressure at all, right? Just one of the biggest rivalries I can think of, right? But, no, it's good. It's exciting. Coming off last week's win, I know our kids are pretty excited. And but you're right. Whenever the Wildcats come to town, I think not only we get fired up, but the community itself gets fired up. It's good.
I know that it's certainly a different intensity level and probably means a lot more to your kids and your community beating Wilmington, but beating Bishop Mack is a big win in a lot of different aspects for you and your program.
Oh, no doubt. I think overall, when you can beat a storied program like Bishop Mack, that's something you kind of, feel good about. But then the other thing, too, is coming off the week 1 loss to Morris, for our kids to kind of come back, refocus, and play a very talented squad. I mean, there's a lot to be excited about last week with the win.
When you went back and looked at the film at Morris, were there things that maybe kind of jumped out at you? And what kind of adjustments did you make from that week going into Bishop Mack?
Yeah, I mean, I think overall, cleaning up some of the mistakes that we can kind of control, penalties, turnovers, things like that really stuck out to us. We knew we needed to play a cleaner game in order to pull out a win against Bishop Mack. But we felt like, we did a lot of good things. We just need to kind of clean some things up, and our kids really did that. They came in ready to work, and they wanted to, be a little more fundamentally sound with our football.
Coach, we know that, everybody talks about Ashton Harvey, great running back, great linebacker. You guys, again, played 2, as Edgy mentioned, played Morris and Bishop Mack, and you've only given up 19 points to, 2 teams that are pretty good. And I just would assume that that Mr. Harvey has played well in both of these games. But who else on defense? Giving up 19 points to two of those, those two programs total, I think is excellent. Who are some of the other guys on defense that have played very well for you so far?
Well, you're exactly right. I mean, Ashton's a great player. Had two very good weeks, but we're definitely a team defense. On the D line, Aiden Murphy's done a great job. Michael Gonzalez and Drake Dirth at D tackles. Nick Seplak at the other end. Nick's a 3-year starter for me on defense himself. Brady Best, returning linebacker for me, and Nolan Ness has stepped in as a junior at our Sam linebacker. Has really gotten up to speed really quickly. Really happy with his progress. And I'll tell you, in the back end, we replaced 3 guys in our secondary, and they've really just gotten acclimated really quickly. Jim Feeney's only a sophomore. He's playing some safety for us. Zach Finch is our only returning starter at our strong. And then our corners, Derek Carlson and Kason Headley, have really stepped up and made a real seamless transition.
Coach, when you look at Wilmington and you watch the tape, and I mean, let's face it, Jeff has done a lot of the same stuff over the years offensively, had a ton of success, obviously, doing it. Is this one of those weeks where you can maybe, I don't know, try to avoid like over preparing and overthinking it, or are you the complete opposite and you're just way overdoing it?
You're right. It definitely, you have to find the balance. I definitely think that you can, the paralysis by overanalysis type of deal. Yep. But, I think what it comes down to, and this is against all good teams, is, who can block the best, who can tackle the best, who limits those mental mistakes, penalties. And that's really what it's going to come down to. I mean, and special teams are going to be huge for us. They've got great special teams. I think we've got some real good special teams too. And, it should be just a tight, good battle between, I think, 2 good programs.
Yep. Coach, talk about your quarterback, Brandon Riley.
Yeah, Braden's a junior for us. He stepped in, and he's done a great job considering, our sophomores, only played 5 games in the spring. And he's able to come in, put the work in. We're a run-first team, but I think he's done a great job of, when we do call it the pass, finding those open receivers. And, I think from week 1 to week 2, we've seen a nice jump from him.
Well, and again, just absolutely thrilled to bring you this game on 1340 WJOL and WJOL tomorrow night. It is Wilmington at Coal City, 7:00 kickoff. So, Coach, are we getting a good night's sleep? Are we a little nervous going into this one? And what is your routine tomorrow? Walk us through it.
Well, I think any game, you try to get some sleep, but things kind of pop in your mind.
Yep.
But I try to make it as routine of Friday as possible. We'll have our morning walkthrough. I'll have class throughout the day, and come end of the day, I like to sneak out and get the field ready and things like that. Just kind of things to keep my mind occupied and keep my mind off the game, because once it's game time, it's pretty intense.
Yeah, I can imagine. Is it good to be one of your students on a Friday, or maybe not so much?
I mean, I would think so. I mean, but you have to ask them. But I think coming off a win, maybe it'll be a little bit easier after last week. But I think it'll be good.
Coach, all those anxiety stuff will quit as soon as you walk on the field. I'll tell you that right now, from experience in football and in baseball. All the stuff during the day, I understand what you're going through, but once you walk onto that field with your team, it all goes away, and you're just thinking about the game, and that's probably the best thing for any head coach.
Absolutely. That's kind of like, your safe place, right? You get on the field and still play.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Coach, we appreciate it. Again, just best of luck tomorrow night. And again, you can hear that game right here on 1340 WJOL and WJOL.com. Wilmington, the Wildcats, come on over to Coal City to take on the Kohlers. Joe will be there.
I'll be there.
Yes. Coach, appreciate it very much, and best of luck.
Yes, good luck, Coach, and thanks for the info.
All right, have a good night, fellas.
All
right, Coach Francis Lawford from Coal City, first-year head coach, Joe. Oh, you can hear those butterflies banging around in that belly tonight and tomorrow, I guarantee you.
Even if you're a Jeff Reintz, you're going to be nervous for this game. I'll guarantee it until you walk onto the field.
Well, we appreciate him checking in, and the Porter Nation's Bob the Builder, in particular the gang leader, firing out, asking go out to Porterland, EDGYTIM. Yeah, eventually. I put it to you this way. It is not going to happen this week. Although Bradley's a good matchup. I think Bradley's an improvement in the schedule over the first 2 weeks, but maybe week 4, maybe the Lincoln Way East week. I will make an appearance. I can't guarantee it'll be in Lockport, but I will come see the Porters. There is no doubt in my mind. It's in the back of that little mind that I do have left, Joe.
I'll be in Porterland twice this year.
Really now?
Yes.
Okay. Joe already has his agenda planned out for the year. I know he already has a schedule in advance.
An old Lockport guy myself,
So there you go. Yes, you are. Joe, was it hard building the original city, or were you able to get it done by yourself?
Did
you have enough help?
I had a little help. I need some help with the canal.
That's a lot of digging to do, Joe, by hand.
Well, I tell you what, look at my hands today. It was pretty tough, but I got it done.
All right. We got a minute or two before we take a break. People want to talk Porters. What do you want to talk about? You've blown out your first 2 opponents. Kind of hard to make that much, put a lot of drama into that. Let's see how things go this week against Bradley. But, Joe, I like the Porters to go 3-0.
I've got, again, I know Bradley, we talk about them. They're coming to Lockport. They don't play well on the road. They are 2-0. But, again, they played Proviso East and Tilden. They're going to get a dose of reality tomorrow night.
Yeah.
They are. They're going to get a dose of it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, we're going to step aside and take a break. When we come back, we will again go out to the phone lines. And, Joe, your former employer is on a roll.
He is.
They are playing really good football, of course.
My buddy.
Talking about Brett Coy and the Lamont team to be named soon. I guess that's what we're calling them. I don't know. That's what I'm calling them. Brett Coy will join us. We will break down Lamont football for you. You are listening to the Week 3 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk Sports.
In 2007, Marine First Lieutenant Travis Mannion was killed in Iraq after saving his wounded teammates. Travis's legacy lives on through the 5 words he spoke before leaving for his final deployment. If not me, then who? Words that today fuel the spirit of Travis Mannion Foundation. Words that live in veterans, families of the fallen, and inspired civilians who go out of their way to find a way, who help others with the help of others, who bounce back after each setback, who make good on good intentions. Through Travis Mannion Foundation, if not me, then who, are words that can live in you too. Show the world what your character is made of, because character is invisible until it's not. Find out how you can strengthen the character of your community alongside empowered veterans, families of the fallen, and inspired civilians at travismannion.org. That's travismannion.org.
So you're getting some roof or exterior work done, and you've covered all your bases, right? Even checked out some online reviews. You think you've got everything covered? Well, think again. Not all roofing and siding companies are insured. That's why I can't say enough great things about R.E. Duchesne Construction. They are a licensed and fully bonded exterior contractor serving Will, Grundy, and Kendall counties for over 40 years. I trust them, and I've personally used them.
Hi, I'm Rita Duchesne Hughes. If you look at your home and don't like what you see, or what you have no longer protects your family and largest asset, call us at R.E. Duchesne Construction. R.E. Duchesne has an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, so you can be confident you need only make one call. Looking to upgrade? R.E. Duchesne offers a full line of roof shingles, gutters, siding, soffit fascia, and windows. Call us at 815-722-2821 for all your home improvement needs. Financing is now available. Check us out on the web at reducheninc.com.
And be sure to tell them Scott Slocum sent you.
How time flies when you're having fun, or at least trying to have fun. In 2020, we lost a season, and while we will never be able to get that back, the Malloy State Farm team is happy to be back on board with EDGYTIM and Coach Rodeghero as the title sponsor of the Pigskin Preview. So here's to the players, the coaches, and the parents who have been waiting for this moment. Give it your best effort. Make it memorable. And on Monday, give the Malloy State Farm team a call at 815-463-5800 to get our best effort at saving you money.
You want your children and grandchildren to focus on their future, not tuition. For more than 150 years, Busey Bank has partnered with families and businesses to establish impactful, enduring legacies. Busey's experienced advisors can help build plans and develop strategies that work as hard as you do, evolving to create lasting impact for your family and legacy. Learn more at Busey.com. Member FDIC.
Bad decisions limit future options. Make enough bad decisions and you'll destroy your life. Listen to The Flot Line with your host, Rick Hughes, every Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m. here on WJOL. The Flot Line describes a main line of resistance in your soul built on God's Word. Join us every Sunday for 30 minutes of inspiration, motivation, education, all without manipulation. That's The Flot Line with Rick Hughes. Heard every Sunday at 8:30 a.m. on WJOL.
It's a tradition. It's a passion. It's a way of life. High school football in Will County runs through the blood of sports fans everywhere.
Two big-time small school programs lock horns this Friday night when Wilmington plays at Coal City. It's presented by Tire Tracks USA. The night all gets started with Friday Night Lights presented by Jody's Hot Dogs, and then the Colors and Wildcats live on WJOL and WJOL.com.
For all the scores, from football to basketball to baseball, it's WJOLsports.com.
Yeah, but we only care about one sport. Oops. Were we on the air? Welcome back to the Week 3 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. Coach Rodeghero with EDGYTIM. I'm your host. Hello. Joe, say hello to everyone on the live stream.
Hello, everybody.
Yep. And the sheriff, Evan Bredesen, behind the console, spinning the dials. And Joe, it is some exciting times out in Lamont for Lamont Indian football. And not that it isn't always exciting, because it usually is.
It is.
But boy, the last 2 weeks, I'll tell you what, 2 big wins for our guy on the phone. And Joe, the dogs are barking in Lamont. Everyone's fired up.
Take care of that dog.
Welcome to Brett Coy. Hello, Coach.
Hi, how are you guys? Thanks for having me on.
I want to know what kind of dog a Brett Coy has. Because I'll tell you mine.
Currently, right now, I have a rescue dog, but I used to have 3 golden. So, yeah.
So what mixes the rescue dog? Come on now.
I think he's got a little bit of Rottweiler and a little bit of the collie in her. So yeah.
Okay.
Pretty good dog.
Well, I have a rescue as well. I have arguably the coolest rescue dog in the history of rescue dogs. I'm
Woody.
a little bit biased.
Woody.
His name is Woody Wilbur O'Halloran, named, of course, after Wilbur Wood, the great Red Sox pitcher. Because he's kind of built like Wilbur Wood.
He sure is.
So my rescue dog is, and again, I like sharing with the show. The rescue dog, my rescue dog Woody, is part Rottweiler. Now I want you to imagine this, Brett.
Yes.
Okay. Part Rottweiler and part Wiener dog.
Oh my gosh! You got to be kidding me.
I will text you some pictures once the show's over.
Yes.
But he is.
That's a combination and a half.
He is phenomenal, and it's to the point where if I'm walking him, people will stop, pull over in their car, and say, "Oh my God, he's adorable." And then the second question immediately is, "What is he?" So
you do have to send me pictures.
I will. I definitely will. As soon as Joe's done using my cell phone as a camera, we will send it over. First of all, pal, congratulations. 2-0, 2 quality wins to start the season. And I mean, I've got to imagine the halls were buzzing for a day or so after that big win last Friday.
I tell you what, it's first of all, it's been awesome getting back to a little normalcy crowd wise. You know what I mean? It just, and what's even more exciting is our fan base has just gone crazy the last 2 weeks, and it's so awesome to see. I couldn't be more proud of our student body. Obviously our kids, but our student body has been fantastic here the last 2 weeks. It's one of those ones where you wish like crazy you were carrying in that momentum one more week at home. We were sort of hoping that Shepherd, and no offense to them, but their field wasn't going to get done, and we were going to get lucky and get one more. But our fan base is just, the place has been packed. The kids have been crazy. It's really been an exciting atmosphere.
Brett, again, as Edgy said, congratulations on that victory over at Naz.
Thanks, Joel.
I was really very, very happy when I saw that score. Defensively, first of all, how's Coach Hayes doing? Is he doing okay? Or
yeah, what level of DEFCON is Willie right now?
Oh,
we're going to ask you this every time we have you on now.
Is he doing all right?
Well, both of us are on our emotional eat fest already here. So
nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So and we're only in week 2 here. So imagine what those pound totals are going to be by the end of the season here. So.
And I know the food is good there. I know it is.
Yeah, it's been fun, and obviously Willie's he's full of energy, and he's just absolutely awesome with our kids, and he's been exciting to be around here. If you guys looked at anything last week, boy did our kids defensively bring it.
Yeah,
and
it's a lot of weapons on that Naz team.
Absolutely. And our kids, oh my gosh, there was some hitting going on out there that I haven't seen in a number of years on both sides. You know what I mean? And also both sides of the ball too. So it was a fun game to be a part of.
And again, defensively, 16 points in 2 games, very outstanding. You mentioned the defense and the hard hitting. Who are maybe 1 or 2 guys that kind of stepped up and played well in these first 2 games?
Well, last week, I think our whole defense played well, but last week our secondary was just fantastic. Some of the hits that Gio Ronconi put on, Martin Milan put on. I mean, you're seeing DBs coming down and just lighting people up. And it was not that we didn't think that they couldn't do it, but there was some big time pops. And I think our linebacker play, obviously both those kids played for us last year. Cole Brannigan and Mo Khalil both started for us last year, so they're sort of hunkering down the base of the defense and really playing well for us also. And our D-line kids, Tyler Wilms has been going both ways, a little bit for us, which is not typically heard of, with Lamont football. And, he's been a kid we can't keep off the field. And, he's really played well for us, and as well as the rest of the D-line.
Glad you shout out Tyler, because he's a kid that I saw at a bunch of camps over the last year or so. And you just talk about a kid that just a nonstop motor, and he just works so hard. It's just great to see all that hard work transfer over and having a big senior year for you.
Absolutely. And I think before it's all said and done, somebody's gonna take a look and say, hey, despite this size, this kid can play. Yeah. And I think somebody's going to be pretty fortunate and grab him.
I mean, every week we could talk about Albert Kanikas and what he does. And Coach, I don't know if it was this past week or the week before, but I saw maybe about a 30, 35, 40-yard touchdown run where literally I think he ran over the entire defense and scored.
Yeah, absolutely. I know exactly which one you're talking about. It was our first drive, and it was an inside zone, and
yep.
And, it was, be honest with you, it was probably a 2-3 yard game, that you're thinking. And,
yep.
And next thing you know, he's old school, and he's just putting that pad level down, and just kids were bouncing off of him. And it was exciting to see.
I tell you what, I am so happy and excited for Shepherd, for Richards and Eisenhower that they finally got those projects completed. Coach, it firsthand. I have spent time over there, And I mean, I think there were a couple kids that got lost one year at Richards in the mud that I don't know if they were ever heard from ever again. You just talk about a school district that desperately needed an upgrade, and they got it, and Shepherd got it as well. And yeah, I know it doesn't help. You're going over there to play, and you know they're going to be fired up. They're going to be fired up anyway. But you got to feel good for a school that I think really had been in need for that for a long time.
100%. You know, and I can't speak as much about Shepherd. You know, obviously, you know, years and years ago I played there, but you know the turf was sort of unheard of then. But you know, just recently, you know, you just see, you know, Richards for so many years they had so many big time games.
Yes.
Can you imagine? I remember playing a ton of them. With the whole field being just covered with sand, you know, and that's what they did. You know, they you know, everything got so muddy and everything got so, the field was just a sand pit towards the end of the year. And you're talking about some big football games there towards the end of the year with them.
Think of some of the teams that Gary Cohornan had. If he could have played on a dry surface, oh my Lord.
Absolutely.
They already had speed.
Yes. Absolutely. And many times over my coaching career, we were in those situations with him, you know, and it was, you know, Joe knows, you know, we were together back then.
Yep.
But you know, it just, it's sort of crazy to think that programs like those guys have not had that type of field, you know, in these recent years.
If you were going to play, I don't know, on the remainder of your schedule, if you have any grass teams left, I'm thinking like maybe Oak Forest, maybe, I don't know.
I think they have turf. I think the only ones left on are your place and my place. You know, I think.
No, my place has it, I believe. So I will double check. But I'm almost certain I've seen.
Yeah, I thought those were the only two left. You know, I thought those were the only two left, but I could be wrong.
If you're playing those teams, you actually go get a little practice time on the grass, or no?
They used to before I got over there, and then you know every once in a while, I think to give some of our other guys a little bit of a comfort level, we'll go up top and practice on the grass. But you know, other than us talking about a different type of cleat that we recommend they use.
Yep.
We really have not put a big emphasis on that.
Yeah, it seems mixed. Some coaches believe they would just rather keep consistent and make sure they're getting a good practice in and not change anything. They'd rather have the good practice versus.
I don't know what the right solution is, and be honest with you, I don't know if one is you know better than the other, but that's what we've done.
If you win, that's the right solution. That's right. Brett, appreciate it. I know you missed Joe. I don't want to get all weepy and stuff.
Absolutely.
But, I will send you some pictures, and again, go get them tomorrow night. Best of luck, and keep it rolling, my friend.
All right. Thank you much. Thanks for having me on.
Brett, make sure you tell all the boys I said hello and good luck.
I will do that. They always ask about you. Yep.
Right.
Well, obviously, those coaches need a life if they're still asking about you, but we appreciate Brett Coy.
Yes.
Calling in and joining the show. And yeah, I'm excited for this Lamont team, Joe. I told you in the preseason,
good.
I thought this was going to be a good year for them, and it definitely is. All right, we got a few minutes here. 815-254-7300. Joe, let's fire through some games here.
Gotcha.
Mantino at the Tone, Piatone.
Mantino 0-2 at Piatone. I'm picking the Tone here.
Go Tone.
Yes.
Tully, we're coming for you. Okay? That's all I'm telling you. We're coming for you.
Better answer your phone.
You better answer, and you better come on. Otherwise, Joe, gosh darn it, we'll take the show down to Piatone and do it.
We'll go down there.
We already talked pretty extensively about Wilmington and Coal City. Joe, thoughts on that?
Rivalry games are hard to pick.
Yep.
I think special teams are going to be a key here.
Especially when you're sitting in the home team's press box.
Exactly.
Yeah, that won't be too uncomfortable. Morris 2-0 on the road, and boy, I'm talking road at Woodstock North.
That's the only thing that's going to probably, if they do derail, but Morris 2-0. Woodstock North 0-2. Morris is going to go 3-0.
So again, if you did not hear, Joliet West at Plainfield North has been canceled due to Joliet West COVID issue. They are on a pause for 2 weeks, and the Tigers Plainfield North go to 2-1, Joe.
Yes. it's just unfortunate. I feel bad for the kids.
Bradley at Lockport, my friend. The Porter fans are out there. They're dying to know, what is Joe thinking about this ball game?
All Lockport.
There you go.
Again, Bradley on the road doesn't play well.
No, they're a different beast at home. There's no
doubt. Proviso East and Tilden are not two juggernaut type teams. I'm looking for them to roll.
The new De La Salle taking on the old De La Salle, Joliet Catholic at ATI Field tomorrow night. Bob, Joe?
Yes.
Barbecue pork chops. It sounds delicious.
Boy, oh boy.
Who you got?
Of course, the Hilltoppers. Again, De La Salle is 2-0. Playing
The Toppers.
Egg Science and Curry. I don't see them.
What are you saying? Egg Science isn't a power? They're okay. They're actually okay for a public league team. They're not bad. We talked about Lamont at Shepherd. Joe, you're still getting a pension, so we won't say anything. I think Lamont gets the win.
I'm going with Lamont.
Lincoln Way Central, Joe, they got to 1-1, got a win last week, but now they are on the road at HF. But you know what, Joe? I'm interested to see how this one turns out, because HF has not exactly set the world on fire the first 2 weeks.
No, they have not. And again, I think coming off a win, I think Lincoln Way Central is going to give Flossmoor a game. This is another toss-up game for me.
We want to mention Joliet Central scheduled to play at Oswego tomorrow night. That is also on a COVID pause on Joliet Central side. So the Steelmen, unfortunately, will not play this week. They also will not play next week. That also goes for Joliet West. And Oswego gets a win, and they're at 1-2. They're going to win a lot of games, Joe. Oswego.
Yes.
They're going to win a lot of games. So they've played two very tough non-conference opponents leading into this. All right, we've got the 7 o'clock hour ahead. Don't go anywhere. Full show in the second hour. Steve Susie from the Joliet Herald will join us. Mike Maloney, former JCA great and current coach of Grays Lake Central. He's got a statewide player of the week we'll talk about. This has been the week 3 edition, hour number 1 of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL. Will County's News, Talk Sports. We'll be back after ABC News.
From the Abri Credit Union Studio, this is Will County's News Talk Sports, WJOL, Joliet. It's severe weather season, and 1340 WJOL's meteorologist Rick DeMaio is ready to bring you up-to-the-minute information of when the storms will hit, where they will hit, and how hard they will hit. Rick is wired in with the National Weather Service, so he has the best technology available. Storm season is not something to take lightly, and rest assured, Rick DeMaio and WJOL will be there for you, Joliet and Will County.
The Dave Ramsey Show, where common sense meets dollars and cents.
Patrick in Texas says, my wife thinks we should have an emergency credit card. How can I explain to her that this is a terrible idea? Well, the last time on earth that you need to go into debt at 18% interest would be at a time when your family has an emergency. What you need is money. If you had $20,000 set aside for an emergency fund, you wouldn't need an emergency credit card, right?
He's back. Dave Ramsey on WJOL, weeknights at 6.
The Armstrong and Getty Show poses the question.
Can you be informed? Can you be up on the news of the day and the issues without being bored?
We say yes, you can.
The Armstrong and Getty Show.
Not just boring, biased political talk. The Armstrong and Getty Show is entertaining, informative, with political commentary, observations on local, national, and international news, and reflections on social issues. Weekdays at 10 a.m. here on 1340 WJOL.
It's a tradition. It's a passion. It's a way of life. High school football in Will County runs through the blood of sports fans everywhere.
2 big-time small school programs lock horns this Friday night when Wilmington plays at Coal City. It's presented by Tire Tracks USA. The night all gets started with Friday Night Lights presented by Jody's Hot Dogs, and then the Kohlers and Wildcats live on WJOL and WJOL.com.
From the Abri Credit Union Studio, this is Will County's News Talk Sports, WJOL, Joliet.
are now mandatory for many students in the nation's second largest school district. The LA Unified School District Board of Ed voting today to require them for those 12 and older. Nick Melvoin is the board's vice president.
For decades, longer, in fact, public schools have required immunizations for polio, measles, mumps, rubella, and consequently, most parents don't have to worry about their kids contracting those illnesses, and many kids may not have ever heard of those diseases.
Eligible students who don't show proof of vaccination or exemption will be referred to an independent study program. Vaccines or weekly tests will also be the norm at U.S. employers with more than 100 workers.
Signed another executive order that will require federal contractors to do the same. If you want to work with the federal government and do business with us, get vaccinated.
President Biden outlining a new 6-pronged approach to battling the Delta variant.
We're committing $2 billion to purchase nearly 300 million rapid tests for distribution to community health centers, food banks, schools, so that every American, no matter their income, can access free and convenient tests.
Montana's Republican Governor Greg Gianforte calls vaccine mandates unlawful and un-American. The Justice Department filing suit against a state's new restrictive abortion law.
The Justice Department lawsuit says that Texas law denies women their constitutional right to choose abortion. Abortions in the state have ground to a halt, providers intimidated by the threat of ruinous lawsuits. Governor Abbott responding to the federal lawsuit saying the most precious freedom is life itself, and he's confident the courts will be on his side.
ABC's Terry Moran. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says the U.S. is in regular contact with U.S. citizens who are still in Afghanistan. You're listening to ABC News.
The pandemic's reminded us we live in a sea of airborne germs that can assault us with every breath. Your nose is the body's first line of defense by helping filter out allergens, bacteria, and viruses before they reach your lungs. But like any air filter, the more clogged up it gets, the less it works. So how do you clean your nose? I'm Martin Hoke, and I didn't invent nasal irrigation. The neti pot's been around thousands of years, but I did invent Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. Navage uses powered suction to flush out mucus and germs that cause congestion, or worse, can make you sick. Over 2 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier with the drugs. Navage has over 70,000 online reviews averaging 4.7 stars because it works and it's easy to use. Go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Now available with eucalyptus for a spa-like experience. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
The U.S. and Mexico have resumed economic talks after a 4-year pause. Vice President Kamala Harris talked about improving relations as she met with Mexico's foreign and economic secretaries.
Following this dialogue, I am confident that our nations will continue to work together, that our companies will continue to create jobs together, and that our people will enjoy greater prosperity and a greater quality of life.
Both sides say they're eager to discuss infrastructure, trade, and migration. Airlines say more people are canceling flights over COVID surge travel fears.
Don't be surprised if you start getting pretty incredible deals coming from the airlines in your email inbox. Super cheap flights and companion passes. Just about every U.S. airline is now saying travel demand has quickly disappeared amid fears over the Delta variant. It's been a quick change for the airlines, now trying to entice travelers again. United's Andrew Nacella telling an investor conference, they do that by offering cheap fares like $67.
And I look forward to the point where we can maybe not send you as many emails with that particular price point, and we can get back on track.
Alex Stone, ABC News.
Getting ready for the holidays, UPS says it plans to hire more than 100,000 people this shipping season. Many of them are going to get job offers within 30 minutes of applying. The company says it's a reality in this tight job market. This is ABC News.
Vaccines are not enough, and accurate thermometers are essential for everyone. COVID is once again a major concern, and fever is the key symptom for both the flu and COVID. An accurate thermometer, like the Exergen temporal scanner, is essential to detect fevers early and reliably. Studies have shown that non-contact thermometers are ineffective and therefore dangerous, as they create a false sense of security. Exergen is working with a single focus to ensure that everyone who needs an accurate thermometer can purchase one. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Daria Albinger, ABC News.
O'Reilly.
Get more miles on the road with O'Reilly Auto Parts. A clean fuel system means better gas mileage for your car. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, get 2 bottles of Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner for $8. Plus, earn double O Rewards points. For a clean, lubricated, more fuel-efficient system, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, Mokina, get the scoop on El Torfer Cat's new location at our open house on Friday, September 10th. It'll be a fun family evening everyone can dig. Join us from 4 to 8 at 19001 88th Avenue to meet our team, tour the facility, and sign up for prizes, including tickets to see Brooks and Dunn at the Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Kids will love the equipment demos and skid steer-shaped bounce house. Local food trucks will be there, too, for a great fall evening. Visit the El Torfer Cat Facebook page or altorfer.com for details. See you there.
The pandemic's reminded us we live in a sea of airborne germs that can assault us with every breath. Your nose is the body's first line of defense by helping filter out allergens, bacteria, and viruses before they reach your lungs. But like any air filter, the more clogged up it gets, the less it works. So how do you clean your nose? I'm Martin Hoke, and I didn't invent nasal irrigation. The neti pot's been around thousands of years, but I did invent Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. Navage uses powered suction to flush out mucus and germs that cause congestion or worse, can make you sick. Over 2 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Navage has over 70,000 online reviews averaging 4.7 stars because it works and it's easy to use. Go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Now available with eucalyptus for a spa-like experience. Navage. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
How time flies when you're having fun, or at least trying to have fun. In 2020, we lost a season, and while we will never be able to get that back, the Malloy State Farm team is happy to be back on board with EDGYTIM and Coach Rodeghero as the title sponsor of the Pigskin Preview. So here's to the players, the coaches, and the parents who have been waiting for this moment. Give it your best effort. Make it memorable. And on Monday, give the Malloy State Farm team a call at 815-463-5800 to get our best effort at saving you money.
Just like a coach gets his players ready to take on an opponent, Tire Tracks wants to get your car or truck ready to take on the road. Whether you're in need of a new set of tires from brands that you trust, including Bridgestone and Firestone, or you're looking for a full-service automotive repair shop that does oil changes, brakes, and more, Tire Tracks has a local store near you, including Bradley, Frankfort, Mantena, Morris, Wilmington, and 3 locations in Joliet. Tire Tracks, a local family-owned business for local people. Online at TireTracksUSA.com.
The best football in the state plays right here on 1340 WJOL and WJOL.com.
And welcome back. If you could only hear the show in between the show, ladies and
That's
gentlemen.
right.
Welcome to the Week 3 edition. Hour number 2 of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. EDGYTIM, your host, along with the coach, Joe Rodeghero, Evan, the Sheriff Bredesen, spinning the dials and keeping us on the air, and we appreciate his efforts every week. This edition and every edition brought to you by State Farm agents John Wright in Joliet and Kevin Malloy in New Lenox, like a good neighbor, Joe.
State Farm is there.
Joe, how's Mr. Malloy feeling these days? I know he had been having some issues. It seems like he's getting a little more ornery.
Then he's doing well.
Yep.
I haven't seen Kev. I got to stop by see
Some
him.
friend you are, huh? Nice.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I haven't been by either, so who am I to talk? All right, we appreciate you being here. Again, our WJOL game of the week is tomorrow night out at Coal City as the Kohlers host Wilmington. Jeff Reitz and the Wildcats. It's a 7 o'clock kickoff. But before then, whatever you do, listen to Friday Night Lights with Evan Bredesen, 6:05, the pregame. Again, you'll get previews. Occasional guests will drop in. I get to come on and Hass 11 for a little while, so it's always a lot of fun. Definitely listen to the pregame. And then it's Dave Dwyer and Coach Joe Rodeghero on the call live from Coal City. Again, a 7 o'clock kickoff for that ball game. Joe, I am going to be a bit closer to home. I am going to be out in lovely Batavia.
Wow.
Taking in Batavia, hosting Wheaton North. 2 7A teams that are highly ranked, and we'll see how that one fares. A big game in the Duquesne Conference. And yes, I will not be going north probably for the rest of the year after my weekend in week 2. After making the Shanahan to Gurney commute, that took me 2 hours and 40 minutes on Friday.
Oh, my gosh.
Then drove home to Shanahan, then back up to Wilmette on Saturday for Loyola and Rochester. So it was a lot of driving. It wasn't a ton of driving. Saturday was a little more tolerable because there was less traffic. But yeah, saw some good things up north and won't be up there again for a while.
Were you able to find any parking at Loyola?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask if I found Santa Claus. No, I did not see Santa Claus yet. Yeah, it was. I got there early. I have become Taylor Bell. I will show up to a game 2 to 3 hours in advance and sit in the parking lot and just make sure I have my place. All right, phone lines open, 815-254-7300. We have the Porter fans. I think they have them going to the Super Bowl, Joe, if I'm not mistaken. One thing I wanted to talk about, and I kind of haven't gotten to it a ton, but Joe, we need to talk about East St. Louis this week.
Yes.
So they have hopped on a big jet airplane and flown to Southern California. That happened earlier today. So they're in Southern California tonight. They're taking on National Power St. John Bosco. Okay, Bosco is ranked number 3 nationally by USA Today Super 25. They are ranked number 2 in the California, I should say, by Max Prep. So they are highly thought of. So, folks, here's what our little East St. Louis Flyers are running into tomorrow night out in Southern California.
Pay attention.
St. John Bosco.
Pay attention.
They currently, in their senior class, they have 18 players currently have scholarship offers. 3 of those kids are 4-star ranked prospects. 12 are ranked 3-star prospects. And one, and I feel bad for this kid, why don't they just bump him up to a 3-star? One kid ranked as a 2-star. So that's 18 out of the senior class alone. The junior class, the 2023 class, has 10 scholarship players on the roster. 4 of them are ranked 4-stars, which means they're basically top 250 in the country. And then 3 are ranked 3-stars out of the 10 scholarship players. And if that's not enough, the class of 2024 has 7 players on the roster. And obviously some of these are not starters, but they have 7 players that already hold early scholarship offers.
Well, I was just going to say, you add all of that up, that's 35 players. If you
look at you in your JCA math.
I know. My teachers would be very happy. Dave Douglas would be very proud of me.
Paper.
That's 35 players with a punter and a kicker, 11 starters on offense and defense. That's 24.
Right.
So you're telling me there are technically 11 reserves on John Bosco who have scholarship offers from college programs who cannot start on their own high school team.
Yes, you are correct.
That is astounding.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
So I've been told that game is on television tomorrow night on Bally West. I'm being told it is available. I believe it's available on Comcast if you have the Comcast digital cable. I'm sure there's a stream somewhere. I will try to find it and post it on my free board for tomorrow. But if you can tape it, it's something to watch. I have no idea how it's going to go down. I hope East St. Louis doesn't turn the ball over a ton, and I hope they find a way to make something happen on special teams because that continues to kind of be an issue.
Minimize penalties
for the Flyers. That and the penalties.
Yes.
Right.
Did you say channel 1251 when you look?
1251 is what they listed on Comcast. But again, hey, I give the Flyers a ton of credit. I mean, they're going out there and then they're playing IMG Academy in week 9 out at the Jackson State. So
is the travel for a game like that, is that all on East St. Louis to get out there?
Yeah,
does the other school help with that at all? How does that?
They did a lot of fundraising the last couple of years. You know, part of what the fundraising is, they host that classic every year that I go to in week 2. So that helped with some of the fundraising, and they were able to get it done. Now, I believe IMG is going to be a bus trip because they're playing at Jackson State, which is like a halfway point between Florida and obviously Southern Illinois. Right. So it's a little bit more tolerable from a cost standpoint for them. But
they just put in a whole new facility at Jackson State, didn't they?
Yeah. So they're looking forward to that game. I know that game. I'm almost certain that game will be ESPN. Maybe. I hear there's a little hiccup with ESPN covering high school games.
Really?
Right,
I haven't heard anything about
Shocker.
that.
No, Shocker. So we'll see. But there you go. So I think we're all East St. Louis fans this week for sure.
Yes.
Definitely rooting for them. So Again, Joe, let's start breaking down some of the games remaining. Oh, we have Bob. I'm sorry. Bob's been waiting. Is this other Bob? Our friend, other Bob. Hello, other Bob.
Hello, fellas.
Hello, Bob.
How are you?
Good. Wonderful night.
Yep.
Yes.
So what's up?
Those are
What's on your
kicking
mind?
off. Everything's football tonight.
Yep.
You guys kicking it off great. Hey, I picked up something interesting today. I'd like to get your opinion and move forward from there. Kind of timely with Weston Central having to forfeit the next couple of games. Wondering what would happen when these teams like Oswego and whoever the other one was had the choice to play a game, pick up somebody or not, and risk getting a loss.
That's
kind of an interesting thought came up today. Our boy Susie had something on the paper which kind of surprised some local relevance. But with the decrease, or I guess easier to say it, the increase of the 8-man football, he's predicting there's now going to be a bunch of 4 and 5 teams playoffs.
Yep. Yeah. No, 100% correct. God, no one's better than Seuss at cramming those numbers together. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of simple math there, other Bob. It's again, you have a smaller field to choose from. So again, your kind of your priority level is going to drop down to the 4-win teams. I don't think there's any doubt about it. And other Bob, I'll go this far, and I don't know if Seuss talked about this. We're gonna have Seuss on at 7:25. I say within 2 years we're gonna let everybody in to the playoffs.
Really?
That's my prediction.
Everybody that's playing, the numbers are going to be there and going to happen.
Yep. I think that's unfortunately where we're heading. The other thing you mentioned is the exact controversy going on right now is that this was an IHSA executive rule put in place due to COVID as far as the forfeits. The original forfeit rule was put in place because of in case of teacher strikes.
Right.
So basically that rule was if you took the forfeit, you get the win. And if you were able to pick up another game, it was basically like an exhibition. So you got the win. This rule,
you can win either way.
Right,
I didn't realize that.
This rule, if you don't take the forfeit win, like Saturday, I went to Rochester, traveled to play Loyola. So Rochester plays an 8A team, makes the drive all the way up here, gets hammered, smashed. So they get a loss. They get a handful of kids that get injured. And, oh, by the way, you don't get a win. I guess the benefit is you'll get a bunch of playoff points from Loyola. But, I mean, outside of that, it's not worth it. And both coaches, Derek Leonard, John Holisick, both talked at length about it's got to change. And see, the problem, Mother Bob, is going to be from here on out down the road. Because you're going to have more situations like Joliet West and Joliet Central, where if I'm Oswego, even if I know about this Monday, I don't know if I go actively because I'm already 0-2. You most likely were going to beat Joliet Central anyway, and you're most likely not going to get very many playoff points out of them. But you're going to get the win. So I think a lot of schools are going to look at their situation closer, and because of this rule, they're going to be less and less inclined to play someone, which I think is ridiculous. Your job is to encourage the sport and to encourage team to play. With this rule, you're not doing that.
Well, that's why I was getting at. What do you think should happen there? Knowing now that you're probably only going to need 4 wins,
right?
If you have enough playoff points.
I think as far as the forfeit rule, I think Craig Anderson should get the parties involved, which I can't believe. If this did happen, then there's a whole bunch of people that missed the fallout from this rule. Get people together, talk about it, and say, okay, what's the problem with this rule? Explain it, understand it. Make an executive move to do away with it and let people schedule who they want to schedule. Give those teams that got the forfeit win and make it. Don't make it a penalty to go out and find another game. Is what I'm trying to say.
To me, that would make more sense. Yeah. You're getting the kids the opportunity to play at the schools who didn't have the COVID issue anyway.
And again, look, the IHSA is not all evil. I truly believe that. I truly believe that they do care about the sport and they do care about doing the right thing. But I think what happens is, and we've seen this before, Joe, someone's making rules and not really kind of working these through channels and getting feedback before they make the rule happen. Because how can they put this in place and not realize that, well, yeah, this could kind of be a problem.
No, there's a football board. I know
there's an advisory committee, but everyone I've talked to on the advisory committee, they meet once a year.
Oh.
And that's it. So I don't know the process, but again, I'm going to argue the fact that you need to have more feedback from coaches. Coaches have to have more of a say.
Yes.
And this is another example where it's just not happening, or whoever they're talking to, I don't know who they're talking to. Maybe they're talking to a bunch of coaches, but the coaches that I know are saying this would have been caught. If you would have put 5 coaches in a room, Joe, and given them this rule, easily half of them, if not more, would have looked at this immediately and said, yeah, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I've got another idea too.
You got about a minute. Fire away.
Okay. With more and more teams going to the smaller 8-man football.
Yep.
Less teams into the regular 8A format. What are your thoughts on reducing the number of leagues, if you will, or not leagues, but championship series to 7 classes and adding an 8-man state championship game as well?
Okay, so let's attack this real quick. First of all, you will see eventually IHSA embrace 8-man. There's no doubt. Iowa does it. They all do it. They all have a 7-8-man championship game. Bob, I love you, but we're never getting out of 8 classes. I'm going to stick to my original thought that we are going to let everybody into the playoffs within 2 years. We're not going to cut down the classes. Never say never, but the mindset is let everybody in and let everyone have a pizza and a trophy versus let's make it even harder for people to get into the playoffs and limit the classes.
Yeah.
And that's just reality, Bob.
Just a thought.
That's great thought. Great thought, because this is being talked about.
That would do, though, if you only had 7 classes, how much tougher every one of those classes.
Oh, I get it. And you know what, Bob? If we're going to do that, can we bring the Wednesday playoff game back, please?
I think it was fun.
It'll never happen, but I miss it too.
Yep.
Thanks, Bob.
Yes. Thanks, Bob.
All right. Great points by other Bob. Definitely appreciate that. A couple of things I know we wanted to touch on. And you know what? We're going to touch on that because we're going to take a break, come back. The one, the only, the Seuss joins us, Steve Soucy, Joliet Herald News, Friday Night Drive. You are listening to the Week 3 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk, Sports.
The name to know for heating and air conditioning too. Providing comfort all year round. Johansson and Anderson.
It's fall and rebates are back. Hi, this is Rick Kronholm, president of Johansson and Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning. Right now is the perfect time to install your heating system with special offers from Johansson and Anderson and energy rebates. We're talking York and Johansson and Anderson rebates up to $850 and utility rebates up to $450 on qualified heating and air conditioning systems. That adds up to $1,300 back to you and lower energy bills all year long. And now Johansson and Anderson offers great financing packages as well. Invest in your home, get money back, and save money every month. Call the name you can trust for over 75 years, Johansson and Anderson. Call J&A today, sleep tight tonight. York, install confidence.
Providing comfort all year round. Johansson and Anderson.
Official rules for 1340 WJOL. No purchase is necessary. All contestants must be 18 years of age or older to participate, unless specified in contest rules. An individual may win an ongoing contest every 30 days per household from WJOL in Crest Hill. All state, local, and federal and other taxes or other fees for prizes awarded are the sole responsibility of the winner. Prizes valued over $500 will be issued an IRS Form 1099 to report their winnings. All prizes are awarded as is. All entrants and winners agree that the station, Alpha Media LLC, and their affiliates shall have no liability and should be held blameless for any injury, misfortune, or damage to either persons or property insured by entering. participating in, winning, or losing any contest by use or non-use of any prize received. All entrants and winners agree the station may broadcast or publish their name, city of residence, photo, videotape, film, or any other likeness, including their voice, recorded or live, for any reason the station deems necessary without compensation. The radio station reserves the right to change the rules for any contest at any time without notice and limit the amount of times an individual may enter a contest or drawing. The radio station will not be held responsible for busy lines, bad connections, disconnections, computer malfunctions, lost, late, or misdirected email, faxes, or any other circumstances. Get a full list of contest rules at WJOL.com.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-936-9033. 800-936-9033. 800-936-9033.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
It's a tradition. It's a passion. It's a way of life. EDGYTIM is here. Coach Rod is here. The best high school football fans in the state are here. High school football in Will County runs through the blood of sports fans everywhere. Coaches, players, fans, and experts. You get them all right here on Pigskin Preview. Powered by State Farm agents Kevin Malloy and John Wright.
Pigskin Preview, Thursday at 6 on WJOL.
Ensuring peace of mind, expanding business, building strong communities. Realize your financial dreams with Busey Bank. For more than 150 years, Busey's built a foundation of broad financial capabilities, vast knowledge, and close relationships that span generations. You can realize your best future. Busey's right beside you. Member FDIC.
Pigskin Preview with EDGYTIM on 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back. It is the week 3 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. EDGYTIM along with the coach Joe Rodeghero and Evan, the very busy sheriff behind the dials. And first of all, Steve Susie, turn your ringer back on. We're trying to call you, you goof. I know we do. I thought I'd yell at him anyway. Hello, friend.
How you doing, sir?
Good. I know maybe your ears perked up. We were talking about old school playoffs in 5 classes and Wednesday playoff game.
Yeah, let's do that.
Well,
I'm all for it.
It was basically things that we'll never see again in our lifetime.
That's right.
But it was nice to go down memory lane.
Sure.
First off, thanks for taking time. I know you're very busy.
Oh, no problem, Chief. Anytime.
Let's talk about Joliet Central and Joliet West. Unfortunately, both getting shut down, COVID paused, a phrase that I hoped we had never used this year, but now we are. COVID paused for the next 2 weeks. Just not good, Steve. Bottom line, it's just not good.
Yeah, it isn't. And it's just one of those situations, unfortunately, it looks like this is definitely going to take Joliet West out for 2 weeks. And Joliet Central's hopeful that they'll be back for week 4, but you know how these things go right now. You just can't ever predict them until you actually get them right back. But, I was sarcastically saying to myself, I thought I jinxed the process a little bit because I put out a tweet this afternoon saying that we were down a little bit.
I know.
And then literally within 15 minutes after I had put that tweet out, I saw 3 more. So it was like, we're still below what we were last week, but that doesn't account for tomorrow when we might get some more. So I guess I was being optimistic when I tweeted that out, which is my character.
Is it just me, or did I actually kind of expect more this week than what we had?
Oh, I did. I thought for sure we were going to get more. I mean, we were cycling up. I mean, it was the first week it was 13. And the previous week it was 17. And then, this week, when you think about the number that we had, that's also factoring in the schools that have decided to drop varsity football.
Right.
as well. So, I mean, we were actually way down prior to this afternoon. So I was expecting it to continue to kind of escalate up, hoping that number would only be a little bit more than what it was last week. But I still think it's going to turn out a little bit lower than last week, which is, I guess, is a good sign, but still, hopeful that we're going to get this down to the point where it's only a small smattering of games.
Steve, in our area, there's a lot of solid teams, playing very well. Now, after the first 2 weeks, who do you think is the biggest surprise so far?
It's kind of hard to peg that. I kind of anticipated that Lockport was going to be very good.
Yeah, I think we all did.
But the way that they've done it so far has been a little bit even more convincing than I thought. So that's been something. I mean, I know scheduling has something to do with it as well, in regards to who people have played and who they haven't played yet. But I mean, there's a couple of teams out there that are sitting with 0-2 records right now that I didn't expect to have 0-2 records, to be honest with you.
I'll throw one, Seuss. I'll throw one at you right now. One that we haven't even talked about tonight. What would the odds have been if I would have told you Plainfield Central would have a better record than Lincoln Way East right now?
Yeah, that's definitely one. I mean, Plainfield Central, that first week against Addison Trail, it was kind of the outcome that I expected.
Right.
But
last week was a really good win.
That's a good stepping stone win for them. I mean, it really is.
And let's face it. Everything that Rob Keane has had to deal with and everything with all the allegations and the lawsuit and everything going on. It's a tough time to be a Plainfield Central coach and being involved with the school. And, I couldn't be happier for a first year head coach. Can you imagine that, Seuss, being a first year head coach walking into that? I mean, I just give those kids and those coaches a lot of credit because they did. Obviously, this isn't bothering them, or who knows? Maybe it's even motivation to get those guys to go out and play even harder. I don't know, but it's working.
Yeah, it really has been. And we talked. I mean, they had a better spring season, but you kind of look at the track record of that program over the previous 5 or 6 years, and you wouldn't have seen this coming. But it's definitely a good sign for them. And now we get through 3 and 4 here. They get back into a division that all of a sudden I think they're a player in, and that's something that we really haven't really considered them to be for a couple of years now.
Did you go see Lamont last week?
I did not.
Okay.
Last week I was
he was up at
I was at the Lincoln Way East game.
Your thoughts on the Griffins? I know we've gotten Joe's thoughts because Joe, the radio station, obviously did the game, but I mean, is this the proverbial you don't want to play them week 9 versus playing them now kind of team?
Oh, I think so. I think they have a lot of pieces right now that are still trying to kind of maybe grow into those spots, and I'm fairly confident that they will. But and you really have to give a lot of credit to Naperville Central when you look back. I mean, I don't know if what Naperville Central's defense did to Lincoln Way East has ever happened in the history of that program. They didn't allow a first down.
That's what I thought too. I was trying to think. Dewey and I were coming home, and I said, you know what? I don't think Lincoln Way East got a first down in the second half, and we couldn't really remember. Now that you said that, I was correct.
And again, another first-year head coach of Mike Ulrich that takes over Naperville Central that had its share of controversies as well. And Mike's a really good guy, longtime assistant there, so I'm very happy for him. Obviously, if you're a Lincoln Way East fan like we are, you're not too happy about it. But Mike's a good guy, so I'm glad it's a big win for him for sure. As far as the landscape, I know you're ridiculous week 1 pairings. What are you doing, you goof? Anyway, you put your different projections out there. And again, I know you talked about this. We had a caller call in and say you mentioned about 14 wins getting in. I mean, it was inevitable, right?
Oh yeah, and I mean, when you just look at the general landscape of things, it's like. And you and I talked about this a lot. I mean, we are now at the situation for the first time since the data has been compiled where we have less than 500 playoff eligible teams in the state of Illinois. So it just stands to reason that, I mean, there's just not as many opportunities for teams to get to 5 victories as there used to be. So, and I mean, there are other factors to this, but I mean, I saw this coming before.
Yep,
before we had any of this COVID stuff with forfeit wins and all this other stuff. I thought it was going to happen this year anyway.
Yeah.
Like even with all that stuff not included in the equation, and then now with the forfeits factoring into this and having some teams that maybe were bubble teams before having to take like a forfeit loss here that maybe against an opponent that they were counting on being one of those 5 wins, it's really starting to tighten up in regards to the fact that I think there's not only going to be a couple 4-win teams, I think there's going to be a lot of them.
Yeah. And again, the gigantic Zeppelin, I don't mean Led Zeppelin, the gigantic Zeppelin floating over this right now happens to be the Chicago Public League. And between Steve, you already know of programs that have shut down because of numbers, and with COVID and everything else, if the COVID numbers continue to go up, that could be a balloon that can pop, I don't know, a week before or even later before we get towards playoffs.
Yeah, there's generally, like there usually is, there's a lack of information about exactly what's going on in a lot of these programs in the Chicago Public League. There's actually a division right now where I believe 3 of the 6 teams involved in that particular division aren't playing football.
Right. We're not talking programs. You're talking full divisions.
Yeah. I mean, I can't confirm that. So if you're talking about there's just going to be forfeits left and right, there might be a team that qualifies for the playoffs that's only played 2 games. I mean, that's the reality of the situation that we're looking at here. So it's definitely dicey. It's kind of weird when you look at it, and I think there's going to be some weird fractals that come out of it in terms of, a team that has a schedule that maybe where they got in 3 games and have forfeit results on both sides of the ledger. And I mean, it's going to be messy. I think this is going to be one of the more sloppy playoff field constructions, I think, of all time.
I know I mentioned this to you before and you didn't want to hear it. You're almost like a little kid that didn't want to hear me say it, but, I mean, and I'll say it again, and I said this earlier tonight. I think, Steve, if this continues within 2 years, we let everybody in.
Yeah, I think that's possible. I mean, I also think that there's a possibility that it's some sort of modified solution where we're letting almost everyone in. I know that's something that's been bandied about before and never really got a lot of traction. But, I think this system as it stands serves the people that are doing pretty well on a regular basis really nicely, and they like it and they want to keep it and they want to protect it. But there are programs out there that for factors beyond their control, it isn't working for them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, some people say, the solution is letting everyone in. And then the counter argument, of course, is,
and I don't want it. Trust me.
No, the counter argument is that you're going to get some terrible opening round matchups and all this other stuff. And I see the merits of that argument, but I think if you really did an honest, hard look at some of the first round matchups that we get now, we get a lot of bad matchups. So it's kind of a double-edged sword there.
All right. Evan left the studio. So, hey, welcome to White Sox Talk here on 1340 WJOL. We happen to have 3 White Sox fans on the radio right now. Seuss, I told Joe this earlier in the week. When the White Sox start caring about winning games, then I guess I'll be caring about winning games.
Well, it's Oakland right now. I mean, I don't expect to win any games in Oakland.
I mean, we don't help when we roll the Ozzie Sunday lineup out there today.
Ozzie Sunday lineup on Wednesday.
Well, it's fine. Like I said, we got 1 win in Oakland. That's better than we usually do.
That's very true.
Right?
That's very true.
I mean, that's the way that I kind of looked at this series. I'm like, well, let's just get this over with. And the schedule isn't the schedule isn't that badly damaging over the back end of this season here. So, and we really don't need to do that much work. I would prefer, obviously, that we don't lose like 5 games every week, but but fortunately we've built enough cushion now where, like, if that did happen, I think we're still probably going to be okay. So, would like a little momentum going to the postseason, but whatever happens at this point. I casually watching the magic number, slowly fall down to single digits here, and then I think that's a pretty good theory, Edge. So as soon as they start focusing on it, we'll get back on that too.
Seuss, I know you're a collector of many things as far as baseball is concerned. What do you think my Derek Jeter rookie card's worth now?
Oh boy, probably a fair amount, my friend. Depends on which kind it is.
Yeah, that's true too. I forgot which one it is, but
You have a Derek Jeter rookie card?
yes, I do. In a Chipper Jones.
It wasn't in like one of the grandkids' spokes or anything, was it?
No, those were the Mickey Mantle ones when I was a kid.
Nice. Yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. And it sounds like this weekend against Boston is when we're going to start getting a little more serious, because I saw the matchup's going to be Rodon Friday, Lynn Saturday, and I think Giolito Sunday.
Okay.
So it sounds to me like, okay, it's time to start playing baseball again.
Yeah, I think it would be nice if we just, clamp down a little focus, maybe take 2 or 3, and, wouldn't bother me at all to see them wound Boston a little bit in their quest to get into the field either. So
where are you going tomorrow?
I am going to Bolingbrook.
There you go.
For Lincoln Way West and Bolingbrook.
There you go. Nice, nice start for the Raiders. They're a nice surprise team too, I think. I think so. Again, John Holtz, the head coach of Bolingbrook.
I didn't say that, John.
You kind of don't know what you're going to get with the Raiders, Seuss, as you well know. Sometimes you get some stuff from John, and if you don't listen to him, he will remind you. And other times he's kind of closes the vest, but really nice start here for the Raiders.
Yeah, it has been. And it was one of those situations you looked at kind of at that opening portion of the schedule and then the conference schedule behind it. And, knowing what they had and didn't have, you thought, well, maybe that might be a little too much of an uphill climb, and shows me what I know, because they're sitting at 2-0 right now and looking in pretty good shape right now. So, I was wondering exactly what they had, because like you just said, John sometimes isn't 100% forthright with what tricks he might have up his sleeve.
See, so. John, that's not us saying that. So.
Yep. So that's I'm glad for them. They played very well in the week 1 game that I saw them. I'm interested to see what happens here, because it's not do or die for Lincoln Way West, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Is that a 6 o'clock kickoff?
That is a 6 o'clock.
Oh, you're a big fan of those 6 o'clock kickoffs. We're going to leave it at that.
6 o'clock kickoffs. Newspaper deadline guys love 6 o'clock kickoffs.
Yeah, Seuss, appreciate it as always. You can find Steve Susie in the Joliet Herald News, as well as Friday Night Drive. I always mix it up between the postgame show. Friday Night Drive. And Seuss, you're the best, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, thanks, Seuss.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.
All right.
All right, Steve Susie drops off. We are going to take a break. When we come back, don't go away. Another guest joining us, an old friend, an old familiar voice will join us. We will talk about his team that is red hot right now. You're listening to Week 3 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports.
Darcy Chevrolet Buick Cadillac in Morris presents the 12th annual Jalopy Fest this weekend at our new venue, the Kendall County Fairgrounds. It's not the usual car show. It's for 1972 and older hot rods and customs, with live rockabilly music, swap meet, pinup contest, food, and even something for the kids. Tickets are $10 on Friday and $15 on Saturday with free parking. The Kendall County Fairgrounds on Route 71, just west of 47 in Yorkville. Come enjoy the custom car culture and traditional hot rod lifestyle. Go to jalopy-fest.com and like us on Facebook.
Is your prostate waking you up more often than your alarm clock? The fact is, the older you get, the more likely you'll have prostate problems, which can affect your everyday life. That's where Prostate Complete by Real Health comes in. Prostate Complete is the result of 20 years of experience as a leader in men's health. The powerful formula in Prostate Complete supports natural prostate function and reduced urinary urges for a better quality of life. Available at Walmart. Visit prostateoneperday.com for special offers. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I'm on the radio promoting high school football and my mattress store. I've been there on Friday nights, under the lights. First game, can't go undefeated if you don't win it. Better yet, it's Joliet Catholic. Everybody in the state knows about the Hilltoppers. All in all, state titles, number 14. To celebrate, here's our big sale. We got a queen mattress by Sealy for $588. We're going to give you a freight, and we're going to drop it off. And that's no charge. And folks, I mean no charge. The king size are $788. Gas tumor for the kids. We got a twin mattress for $107, a full for $147, and a queen for $287. For the more mature sleepers, we have all the big brands: Tempur-Pedic, Posturepedic, eye comfort by Serta, perfect sleeper, and the famous beauty rest. You know, Citywide's easy to find. You go west on Jefferson Street to the Shorewood Plaza on the right. And folks, remember, we deliver a good night's sleep and Gold Hill toppers.
It's severe weather season, and 1340 WJOL's meteorologist Rick DeMaio is ready to bring you up-to-the-minute information of when the storms will hit, where they will hit, and how hard they will hit. Rick is wired in with the National Weather Service, so he has the best technology available. Storm season is not something to take lightly, and rest assured, Rick DeMaio and WJOL will be there for you, Joliet and Will County.
Hi, this is State Farm Agent Don Wright. Every team knows the two-point play can be a winning move. That's why I can help you go for two by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score savings by combining your home and auto with me, State Farm Agent John Wright. It's just another way we're here to help life go right. Call me, John Wright, at 815-725-5052 today.
Tune in to 1340 WJOL every Tuesday morning at 9:30 for Life with Vitality, hosted by local weight loss and wellness expert Davis Jaspers from Vitalife of New Lenox. Life with Vitality covers health topics related to weight and diet. Learn more about your body, the science behind weight loss, and how the Vitalife program can help you lose 20 to 40 pounds in 40 days. Listen to Davis Jaspers on Life with Vitality on 1340 WJOL every Tuesday at 9:30, and learn about the Vitalife weight loss program at vitalifeweightloss.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio.
Hi, I'm Jessica Edwards, and I work for ExxonMobil Joliet Refinery. ExxonMobil is a proud supporter of our local first responders through the Battle of the Brave. I, along with 730 employees, help to make 9 million gallons of gasoline and diesel per day right here at our refinery in Channahon, Illinois.
White Sox, go, White Sox. Let's go, White Sox.
Yeah, I know it's kind of corny and it's kind of lame, but so is this show. Welcome back to the Week 3 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. If you missed it, we had White Sox talk with Steve Susi just before the commercial break.
And I wore my hat tonight for Nate.
And looking forward to the imminent postseason run for our White Sox once we are done playing the B team. And maybe we'll get the A team back on the field again, Joe. But in the meantime, going to go out to the phone line, going to bring in an old familiar voice and an old familiar friend who basically no one talks to him up north anymore because, quite honestly, do you blame him? I don't at all. But for some strange reason, we don't seem to forget about this guy. His name is Mike Maloney, and he is a former Joliet Catholic great, question mark with that. Former Fighting Illini great, question mark next to that. But all kidding aside, Mike, great to have you in. Appreciate you taking some time.
Hello, boys. Appreciate you welcoming me in. 2 huge question marks there, by the way. Let's be honest. But, just get a chance to chat with you guys is like sitting in that old lazy boy you got, from 15 years ago.
Yeah, we look like it too.
Still got your imprint in there, and you just settle in and have a couple pops and chat a while. So appreciate you guys having me on.
Okay, we're not that bad. We're like, hey, how you's doing over there? Okay, we're not quite there yet.
How you doing up there?
We're not quite there yet. But hey, let's talk about, first of all, congratulations. Maybe if you're a better coach, you would have been coach of the week. But anyway, congratulations to Kade Miller. I know that was low. Kade Miller from your school, Grays Lake Central, named the Chicago Bears statewide all-star player from week 2 action. Mike, this young man had a huge game for you. And again, just reading the profile from the Chicago Bears, helped the Rams 2-0, by the way, to a 34-33 win over what I think is a pretty good Mundelein team, Mike. Pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Coach DeFrancesco's got it going over there.
Yep. Set a single game school record with 267 receiving yards. Scored a touchdown with 14 seconds left before Grays Lake Central completed a 2-point conversion for the win. Look at you going for it. See, they taught you something good over here.
That's right.
Miller caught Rams record-setting 96-yard touchdown and collected 7 tackles and 2 pass breakups on defense. And again, you host your rival Grays Lake North tomorrow, 7:00, and talk about this young man and what. And we got to talk about your quarterback too, because your quarterback Overbay had a great game as well.
Yeah, well, Kade Miller's a dynamic, explosive athlete. He makes bad plays into great plays. He makes average coaches look good. Obviously, he's got height, range, takeoff, linear speed, agility, and he plucks the ball out of the air with a lot of grace and concentration. So he's a primary target. He also kicks. He also plays outside linebacker. He'd get us the water if we asked him to do it. He returns kicks. Yeah, drives the bus. So Caden really is something special. He's one of the most explosive and dynamic athletes that I've had the pleasure of coaching, and he's also only a junior. So we're excited about Caden. He had obviously one game was kind of his coming out party, but he's been a consistent weapon for us in all facets of the game, going back to the spring season. And we obviously have him in several parts of the game plan moving forward. And we're, like I said, he makes me look like a good coach.
And then your quarterback as well had a huge game.
Daryl Overstreet Jr. is poised, stoic, unshakable, everything you would want in a leader. Whether it's adversity that's hitting in the game or we're rolling and having rhythm with success, he has an even keel the entire time. It does help that he has 5 senior offensive linemen in front of him. 3 of them are 3-year starters, and our tight end is also a 3-year starter senior. So, Daryl distributes the ball, makes checks at the line, suggests plays on the sideline. When we had the decision to make at the end of the Mundelein game, I looked him in the eye. I said, "Are we going for this?" He says, "We are." And he made the call, and we got the play call upstairs from Jason Newberger, our offense coordinator, does a tremendous job. And he hooked up with Hertigan, and it's all history from there. But he's going to go down statistically as the greatest quarterback in the history of Grays Lake Central. I know that's not a big accolade for especially in the Will County area, but
it's something for sure.
Yes, since the early 2000s, they haven't had a lot of football success here, and Daryl has been a catalyst for all of that.
Edge, who would have thunk it? That it'd be Air Maloney now up at
what happened to you?
Now listen to me. We are still a wing T team out of gun, and we still run the heck out of the ball. So I don't want anybody trading in my wing T card.
Yeah. We'll have to decide on that one. We're gonna have to get a meeting over
the problem
at Thayer Brothers.
RPOs. 80% of them are RPOs, and my quarterback loves to sling it. He's got weapons, so but it works. It really works. I bet that's the evolution of football, right? I mean, right now you got to distribute weapons. If I had 3 guys in the backfield that I could just pound the ball with, we would.
You hit him.
We don't.
Joe, you hit him where it hurts.
No.
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
Now I'm on the defense, Joe Rod.
Yep. Now he's backpedaling.
Right? I thought we were all Sox fans hanging out. Now
We are.
Well, you said a little bit about your offensive line. Who are those 3-year starters that, again, you run an offense like you do, Mike?
Yeah.
And I know you said they're seniors, and with the success last week and with the quarterback and the receiver, give some kudos. Give us some names of some of those guys.
Yeah, Devon Rochelle is our senior center, 3-year starter captain. He's lights out. He's a throwback. He's probably an 80s fullback playing center.
There you go.
And we could hand him the ball at any time. He'd be the best fullback in the league. But he makes all the line calls. He never played football before sophomore year and has evolved into just a technician and somebody who can identify the defense and make the right calls. Our left guard is Matt Zimke. He'll be a Division III player. He's a Division III coach's dream, just a workhorse. We call him the hunter because he just goes out there and finds dudes to hit. He's a violent player. We like to have guys with an edge, and he's it. And then our left tackle is Chase James. All 3 of those guys are captains, which helps, right? And Chase James is probably our biggest recruit, if you will, at left tackle. He's got size 17 shoe. He's 6'4", 270 pounds. So he's a senior. He's underrated right now, making some visits. But the guy has been Daryl's left tackle for 3 years. Now listen to this. Daryl has been sacked 4 times in 3 years, and he's been touched about 7 or 8.
Wow.
So, so that's kudos to those guys up front. And then I have a set of twins, AJ and Andy Hernandez, play right guard and right tackle. And this is their first year starting, and they've really stepped in, and it's been phenomenal for our offense.
State of the program. You mentioned, this is the best start in a while for Grays Lake Central. Lower level number wise, how you doing, and how are things looking down the road?
Lower level number wise are exceptional. We have 65 freshmen and sophomores.
Nice.
We play a frost off 1 and a frost off 2. That's kind of how we do in our conference. We have 31 freshmen when we started the year, and I think we've got 37 now, something like that. So we're really excited about our lower level team. Although we did have a COVID hit, so like half of our kids are in quarantine, but we still have enough numbers at the frost off level to play one level. So Lake County Health Department kind of relentless with that. So, everybody's dealing with something like that logistically, but we're really excited about the future there. State of the program right now, year one, you know how it is when coaches come in and take over a program, we're learning how to do things, right? Coach Rodeghero understands, all the coaches, in the area. We're going to learn how to practice. We're going to learn how to do things right. We're going to learn how to tie our shoes, wear our uniform, walk the halls, all that stuff. Year two, last year, when we had the spring season, we learned how to compete. And we were 3-2 in the spring, got our last game banged for COVID. And then we came out, obviously, having several 3-year starters that understand the culture and expectations that we're trying to, instill in them. They are now our leaders and captains. All that time that was invested, they are leading the charge, carrying the torch in year 3. And we're no longer learning how to compete. We're learning how to win and to consistently win.
Always a big game, your rivalry game tomorrow, night against Grays Lake North. I know they're 0-2, but Mike, as well as anyone, traditionally, they're a pretty good program.
Yeah, throw the records out, man. They're dangerous, right? They got the Donahue kid distributes the ball as well as anybody I've seen. They're a 5 wide. You guys would throw back to Otto Zeman. Like Corey Atwell, I think, is an understudy of Otto. Like their running plays are screens and swing passes. So, it's back to Tim Brasic and, Powers or whatever his name was. But so that's kind of what we got going on. Donahue is their quarterback, their trigger guy. Atwell's son is the best receiver they have right now. And they've got a couple running backs with the motion in the backfield out of empty. But they are fun and gun. Get as many snaps as you can. Check from the sideline. Get you in a bad play. Get you in a bad matchup and try to go the distance. So they're dangerous. And they're not an 0-2 football team. I mean, traditionally speaking, when you look at the film, they played Vernon Hills and Deerfield. Both pretty significant
really good teams.
If you look at
Deerfield's really good.
Yeah, and Deerfield was a very, very physical team, and we have to match that if we're going to have a chance.
Yep, no doubt. It's funny you mentioned Timmy Brasic. I actually got a message this week from Timmy Brasic and Mo Dampier in the same week.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
Huh?
Some throwbacks, Coach. You're all right.
Mo Dampier coaching at Decatur Eisenhower.
Really?
Yep.
Good for him.
Yep.
You know what we need? For the listeners out there? We need more Mo Dampier seniors. We don't have enough quality referees like Mo Dampier Sr.
Yeah.
So if there's somebody sitting out there looking for something to do, can we please get some more quality referees out there? I promise I'll be nice.
It's tough. Yeah. Well, we won't hold you to that one.
No.
Right.
Just good to have you on.
Yes.
We wanted to have you on. I'm thrilled for you. I'm glad you're winning, and it was great to see that young man get player of the week, and that's a big deal, by the way. You get a nice financial donation to the athletic department, and I believe you
and a youth donation to our Colts program. So it's all really good stuff, and it's nice to talk to you again. I'm talking on the radio right now because our players made plays and because of the hard work they put in. But like you said, it's like old friends chatting around a fire. Joe Rod, I've known you forever. Edge, since I started playing football. I miss this. Thank you so much for what you guys do for prep sports.
Oh, we love it.
We don't have this up here, right? And I tune into you guys because I still love the kind of the fabric of the community you have in high school sports down there. So just to be a part of that, I'm much appreciative.
All right, pal. Good luck tomorrow. We'll let you go.
Yes, good luck.
Thank you, guys. Take care now.
All right, Mike Maloney joining us. This is the Week 3 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. For Coach Joe, for the Sheriff, I'm EDGYTIM. Thanks for listening, everybody. Good night.
It's a tradition. It's